Hello and welcome to Factual Insider, the channel that strives to cover as many facts as possible. Today we will be discussing 10 facts of the Puyo Puyo game franchise you may not know. If you find any of the facts to be interesting, please be sure to hit the like button, subscribe and hit the bell icon to receive notifications. With that being said, let's get started. Number 1. Did you know that the Puyo Puyo game franchise started from another video game franchise called Ma Dao no Gatari? Originating from Japan, the dungeon-crawling RPG known as Ma Dao no Gatari was on the PC and originally had enemies called Puyos, which were slimy blob-like monsters that the player would encounter. Later on, Compile, which was Puyo Puyo's property owner at the time, decided to make a puzzle game spin-off based off of those monsters called Puyo Puyo. Eventually the spin-off had major commercial success in Japan that Compile decided to focus most of their efforts on Puyo Puyo instead of Ma Dao no Gatari. Number 2. Over in the West, Puyo Puyo was known as Puyo Pop during the 2000s. The name change was made to help appeal more to Western audiences. However, numerous Puyo Puyo games never made it outside of Japan, and the West did not get an official Puyo Puyo game until 2002 when Puyo Pop, known as Mina de Puyo Puyo in Japan, was released. Puyo Pop Fever, which only had a GameCube release in the West, had a port that came out for the Nintendo DS in 2005, and it would be the last Puyo Puyo game that the West would get until 2017, when Puyo Puyo Tetris had a Western release. Number 3. In 1998, Sega purchased the rights of Puyo Puyo from Compile. However, from the exchange, Compile still owns the rights to Ma Dao no Gatari, but no longer own the characters associated, as now they are also owned by Sega. For a brief time period, Puyo Puyo games were still being made for competing game consoles such as the Nintendo 64 and Sony PlayStation, despite being owned by Sega. Number 4. Over in the West, the character Dark Prince is actually named Satan in Japan. The name change was to help prevent Western audiences from being offended. Despite sharing the same name, Satan from Puyo Puyo was not meant to be a portrayal of Satan from religious beliefs. Number 5. Starting with Puyo Pop or Mina de Puyo Puyo, Sonic Team is the developer of the franchise to this day. Known for developing other classic games and franchises such as Sonic the Hedgehog, Nights into Dreams, Burning Rangers, and others, Sonic Team can only be seen being credited during the credits of various Puyo Puyo games and on the Steam pages when purchasing Puyo Puyo games on Steam. Number 6. During the 90s, Puyo Puyo outperformed Street Fighter in the arcades during a brief time period, prompting Capcom to start their own puzzle spin-off called Puzzle Fighter, a spin-off series based off of Street Fighter to help compete with Puyo Puyo. Despite sharing many similarities such as the competitive puzzle gameplay, there were enough differences with Puzzle Fighter to help it be its own standalone title. Number 7. On December 2013, Sorcery Saga, Curse of the Great Curry God, known as Ma Dao no Gatari in Japan, would be the only Ma Dao no Gatari game that would ever have a Western release. Released on the PS Vita, Sorcery Saga, Curse of the Great Curry God had different characters than the previous entries of the Ma Dao no Gatari due to Sega's purchase of Puyo Puyo back in 1998. The game received good reviews but was considered a niche title on the PS Vita. Number 8. Puyo Puyo Champions, released in 2019 in the West, was known as Puyo Puyo Esports in Japan. The game was originally released in Japan in 2018 and was meant to be a competitive game for esports. However, due to success of Puyo Puyo Tetris in the West, fans urged Sega to bring more Puyo Puyo games to the West. Thankfully, Sega acknowledged popular demand and Puyo Puyo Esports had a Western release with the name Puyo Puyo Champions. Number 9. There are many Easter eggs and references in other Sega games of Puyo Puyo, Sonic Forces, Phantasy Star Online 2, and others. Yakuza 6 even has a playable arcade machine in the game that allows players to play Puyo Puyo in Yakuza 6. There is also a mini-game in Sega Superstars Tennis that is themed off of Puyo Puyo. Number 10. The games Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine and Kirby's Avalanche are previous entries of Puyo Puyo in Japan, but were brought to the West with different names, themes, stories, and sprites to help the game sell better in the West, since at the time, Puyo Puyo was unknown outside of Japan. Compile also believed that Puyo Puyo would not be successful in the West because of its name. Well, there you have it. Those were 10 facts about Puyo Puyo you may not know. Hope that the video was enjoyable and entertaining and you are encouraged to watch more facts about other game franchises. See you next time.